Hey y'all, this is TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich, and you're watching Pinfalls and Pixels, where wrestling meets gaming, hosted by Glocky. Check out this YouTube channel and all of their content for your wrestling and gaming needs.
It was supposed to be the future of WWE, but from day one the Universal Championship was cursed, ugly, controversial, forgotten, and yet, by the time it was retired, it had become the most dominant title of the modern era. This is the rise and fall of the WWE Universal Championship. Before we dive in, I just want to take a quick moment to tell you how you can support the channel. Head over to pinfallspixels.com or to the store section on YouTube and grab one of our fresh t-shirts. We got a lot of designs to choose from. Or maybe you'd like an art print or a sticker featuring one of our exclusive cosplay designs. Want to be part of the show? Producer credits are also available so your name can appear in the credits of future videos. Thank you so much for the support, and now back to the video. When WWE reintroduced the brand split in 2016, the company found itself at a crossroads. For the first time in years, Raw and SmackDown would be competing brands again. Not just different shows under the same umbrella, but two distinct entities. Each needed its own roster, its own identity, and most importantly, its own top prize. There was just one problem. The WWE Championship, the crown jewel of the company, had been drafted to SmackDown. That left Raw, WWE's flagship show, without a world champion. WWE needed something new, something bold. Something that could define Raw's future and stand shoulder to shoulder with decades of history behind the WWE Championship. Their solution? A brand new title. A title named in honor of the WWE fanbase itself, the so-called WWE Universe. The Universal Championship was born. But what began as a bold new era would become one of the most turbulent journeys in modern wrestling history. From the controversial design and short-lived reigns, the Universal Championship's legacy would be anything but simple. The date was July 25th, 2016. Fresh off the 2016 WWE Draft, Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon and General Manager Mick Foley opened Monday Night Raw with a problem. Their show, the show that had been WWE's heartbeat for decades, no longer had a world champion. Dean Ambrose, the reigning WWE Champion, had been drafted to SmackDown. At the Battleground pay-per-view the night before, Ambrose had defeated Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins to keep the championship on SmackDown. Stephanie McMahon declared that Raw would not be left without a champion. A new title would be created, a championship for the universe. The WWE Universal Championship was announced. The concept was simple. Raw needed a world champion, and they needed one fast. Thus, a series of matches were booked to determine who would fight for the championship to become its first champion at SummerSlam 2016. Seth Rollins, Raw's #1 draft pick, was automatically placed into the title match. Finn Bálor, fresh from NXT and making his main roster debut, fought his way through Cesaro, Rusev, and Kevin Owens in a fatal 4-way match, and then defeated Roman Reigns later that night to earn his spot. The stage was set, Seth Rollins versus Finn Bálor at SummerSlam. But when WWE revealed the Universal Championship itself at SummerSlam, it wasn't the match that grabbed headlines, it was the design. The Universal Championship was a glaring bright red version of the existing WWE Championship belt. It kept the same giant WWE logo centerpiece, but the background was bold red leather, symbolizing Raw's colors. The Brooklyn crowd hated it. Chants of "This belt sucks" echoed throughout the Barclays Center, drowning out the action between the two incredible wrestlers. It was supposed to be a landmark moment, the crowning of a new world champion for a new era. Instead, it became an awkward, almost embarrassing scene for WWE. The fans couldn't see past the belt's design, a vivid red strap that looked more cartoonish than prestigious. To longtime fans, especially those who grew up admiring titles like the classic Big Eagle Championship of the Attitude Era, the new Universal Championship felt like a slap in the face. The Big Eagle was elegant, detailed, royal. It looked like something you would fight your entire career to hold. The Universal title? It looked more like someone photoshopped a logo onto a candy wrapper. Even WWE's own roster bristled at the reception. Seth Rollins lashed out at the crowd on social media, reminding them that the meaning of a championship lies in the battles fought for it, not just the leather and metal. But none of that could undo the damage. The Universal Championship debuted under a cloud of negativity, and things would only get more chaotic from there. At SummerSlam 2016, Finn Bálor, wrestling as the Demon, defeated Seth Rollins to become the first ever Universal Champion. It should have been the crowning achievement of Bálor's career, but fate had other plans. During the match, Bálor suffered a severe shoulder injury when Rollins powerbombed him into the barricade. Displaying incredible toughness, Bálor finished the match and won the championship anyway, but the damage was done. Less than 24 hours later on Raw, a heartbroken Finn Bálor had to vacate the championship. He became the shortest reigning Universal Champion in history, holding the belt for less than 22 hours. With the title vacant, WWE quickly scrambled to find a new champion. A fatal four-way elimination match was held on Raw for the Universal Championship. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins would be the last two. Kevin Owens would win the championship after Triple H would betray Seth Rollins. Owens' reign, though entertaining, was controversial. Often portrayed as a cowardly heel champion, Owens leaned heavily on outside interference and shady tactics to retain the championship. It made for good television, but it did little to establish the Universal Championship as a prize on the same level as the WWE Championship. Owens ultimately lost the championship to Goldberg in March 2017 at Fastlane in a match that lasted just 22 seconds. Goldberg's win set up a WrestleMania showdown with Brock Lesnar. And that's when the Universal Championship entered a new era, one dominated by the Beast Incarnate. Brock Lesnar captured the title at WrestleMania 33 and ushered in a new era that was both historic and frustrating. Lesnar barely appeared on weekly television. He rarely defended the championship, and when he did, it often ended with short, one-sided beatdowns. While Lesnar's aura was undeniable, fans grew restless. A world championship should feel like the heartbeat of the show. But with Brock absent for months at a time, the Universal title began to feel more like a prop than a prize. At WrestleMania 34, Roman Reigns challenged Lesnar in a brutal, bloody match, and lost. Fans expected Reigns to finally dethrone the absent champion, but Lesnar held on to the title, continuing his reign of terror. It wasn't until SummerSlam 2018 that Roman Reigns finally captured the Universal Championship, defeating Brock Lesnar and beginning what fans hoped would be a new chapter for the belt, but fate intervened again. In October 2018, Roman Reigns stunned the world by announcing that he had been battling leukemia and was forced to vacate the Universal Championship immediately. The title was cursed, it seemed. Another champion stripped of the belt just as they were finding their footing. A new champion was crowned when Brock Lesnar defeated Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel 2018. And once again, the Universal Championship fell back into the clutches of a part-time superstar. The early years of the Universal Championship were defined by constant chaos. Injuries, illnesses, and absences robbed the title of consistency. It was a belt in search of an identity, and for many fans, it was falling short of the prestige it desperately needed. In late 2019, everything changed. The WWE draft saw a shift in balance between Raw and SmackDown, and once again, the Universal Championship was caught in the middle. At Crown Jewel in 2019, The Fiend Bray Wyatt defeated Seth Rollins in a brutal Falls Count Anywhere match to capture the Universal Championship. But Bray Wyatt was drafted to SmackDown. As a result, the Universal Championship, originally created for Raw, moved to the blue brand for the first time. To reflect the brand switch, WWE unveiled a new version of the Universal Championship. The same design, but now with a blue leather strap instead of red. And the underline on the WWE logo was changed from black to red. For the first time in years, the Universal title felt fresh. Bray Wyatt's unique, split personality character, part Mr. Rogers, part horror movie villain, brought a new sense of intrigue to the championship. Not only that, but Wyatt introduced a custom version of the Universal Championship for his Fiend persona. Gone was the giant WWE logo, replaced instead by a haunting leather mask of the Fiend's own face. Phrases like hurt and heal adorned the sides. The belt was unlike anything WWE had ever produced. It felt personal. It felt dark. It felt important. But even this resurgence would be short-lived. If the early years of the Universal Championship were defined by chaos, then the next chapter would be defined by total domination. In the summer of 2020, WWE found itself facing unprecedented challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic had shut down live crowds. Shows were now held inside empty arenas, with the eerie silence making every blow and promo feel almost surreal. And into this void stepped Roman Reigns. But not the Roman Reigns fans had grown used to. Gone was the smiling, valiant babyface who never gave up. In his place stood something different, something colder, something more dangerous. At Payback 2020, Roman Reigns aligned himself with Paul Heyman, the same man who once guided Brock Lesnar to unparalleled dominance. With Heyman whispering in his ear, Reigns unleashed a more vicious, calculating version of himself, the Tribal Chief. Roman quickly captured the Universal Championship from the Fiend Bray Wyatt in a chaotic triple threat match, also involving Braun Strowman. But this was not just about winning matches. It was about asserting dominance. It was about cementing a legacy. Reigns demanded respect from his opponents, from the fans, and even from his own family. In an emotional and brutal feud with his cousin Jey Uso, Roman showcased a new ruthless edge, forcing Jey to acknowledge him as the head of the table. For over 1,300 days, Roman Reigns held the Universal Championship. It became the centerpiece of his identity. And slowly but surely, the championship itself began to change in the eyes of the fans. No longer the ugly red belt or the part-timer's trophy, the Universal Championship became the prize in WWE, because Roman made it so. Throughout 2021 and 2022, Reigns defeated every challenger in his path. Daniel Bryan, Edge, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre. Each fallen opponent only added to his growing aura of invincibility. The Universal Championship finally had what it needed, a champion who made the title feel important, who carried it proudly on every show, who defended it like his life depended on it. Roman Reigns didn't just hold the Universal Championship, he defined it, and soon his hunger for dominance would grow even larger. The stage was set for WrestleMania 38. In a winner-takes-all match, Roman Reigns, the reigning Universal Champion, would face Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion. It was billed as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, champion versus champion, the Tribal Chief versus the Beast. At WrestleMania 38 Night 2, in front of a raucous crowd, Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar, capturing the WWE Championship while retaining his Universal title. He was now officially the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. But behind the glitz and glamour, there was confusion. Despite the unification billing, WWE made it clear both titles would remain separate entities. Roman Reigns was technically a double champion, carrying both belts. 1000th day as Universal Champion. It was a cleaner look, but behind the scenes, it signaled the beginning of the end for the Universal Championship. But the Universal and WWE Championships retained their individual histories and lineages. It was a messy situation. On Raw, there was no world champion, no fighting champion to headline weekly shows. Roman, largely exclusive to SmackDown, defended the titles periodically. Fans once again grew restless, and criticism mounted about the lack of a visible world champion on both brands. WWE responded by creating a brand new World Heavyweight Championship in 2023. A way to give Raw its own world title without stripping Roman of his status, but the damage was done. While Roman's individual legacy soared, the meaning of the Universal Championship became increasingly muddled. Had the Universal Championship simply become a prop for Roman Reigns' personal narrative? Or was it still the top prize in the company? The lines blurred, and the once promising new championship became tangled in WWE's ever-changing booking strategies. By 2024, it was clear that change was coming. Roman Reigns had shattered records, holding the Universal Championship for a staggering 1,316 days, the fourth longest world title reign in WWE history. But all reigns, no matter how dominant, must eventually end. And at WrestleMania XL, the story of the Universal Championship reached its emotional climax. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, completed his long, heartbreaking journey to the top by defeating Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Cody's win was presented as the culmination of decades of family struggles, personal setbacks, and professional perseverance. It was a feel-good ending, but beneath the surface, the Universal title's fate was being quietly rewritten. Following WrestleMania XL, WWE began referring to Cody simply as the undisputed WWE Champion, phasing out explicit references to the Universal title. Internally, it was decided the Universal Championship would no longer exist as a separate entity. Even though Cody technically held both lineages at first, WWE's website, graphics, and commentary steadily shifted focus solely onto the WWE Championship. The blue Universal title belt imagery was retired. And in an even more surprising move, WWE amended the title history. Roman Reigns was listed as the final recognized Universal Champion. Cody Rhodes was removed as a Universal Champion altogether. His reign considered part of the WWE Championship lineage only. The WWE Universal Championship, after nearly 8 years of existence, was officially retired in April of 2025. No grand farewell, no celebratory tribute, just a quiet end to a chaotic, colorful legacy. So what is the true legacy of the WWE Universal Championship? For some, it will always be remembered for its rocky beginnings. The cursed reigns, the ugly red belt, the part-timer frustrations. For others, it will be forever tied to the dominant reign of Roman Reigns, who carried the title to heights it never would have achieved otherwise. The Universal Championship saw just 14 reigns across 8 champions: Finn Bálor, Kevin Owens, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. Among them, Brock Lesnar had the most reigns at 3. Roman Reigns held the longest single reign at 1,316 days, and the longest combined at 1,380. Finn Bálor's reign remains the shortest. Goldberg at 53 was the oldest champion. Kevin Owens at 32 was the youngest. It was a title that mirrored WWE itself. Bold, messy, sometimes frustrating, but always striving for something bigger. It produced unforgettable matches, shocking moments, and divisive debates. It evolved from an object of ridicule to a symbol of absolute power. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what the Universal Championship was always meant to be. When WWE created the Universal Championship in 2016, they didn't just create a new belt, they created a new opportunity. An opportunity for Raw to have its own identity. An opportunity for new stars to emerge. An opportunity to redefine what a world champion looked like in the modern era. For years, that opportunity seemed squandered. But through perseverance and one historic reign by Roman, the Universal Championship eventually found meaning. It rose, it fell, it endured. And now it rests among the history books. A chapter closed, a universe retired, but its impact? It will be felt for years to come. Now I want to hear from you. What was your favorite moment from the history of the Universal Championship? Who do you think was the greatest Universal Champion of all time? And who do you think deserved a shot that never got it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this dive into WWE's chaotic championship history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos. Thanks for watching. This is Glocky, and I'll catch you on the next one.